Black cohosh is a traditional herb that has been used for many centuries, but today has a lot of fear and uncertainty around its use. You're listening to Menopause Natural Solutions, episode 108, Black Cohosh. Welcome to Menopause Natural Solutions, your podcast for all things perimenopause, menopause and beyond. Stay tuned as your host, Naturopath Jennifer Harrington, explains how to use natural therapies to find your ultimate health and happiness during your transition. Hi ladies, it's Jen here, and today we're talking all things black cohosh. Let me break apart for you why this is such a misunderstood herb and why there is fear and uncertainty preventing women from using a herb that could be quite effective for them. Black cohosh has a long history of use, both by Native Americans and European settlers. For a herb with such a long history of use, it is certainly misunderstood. It is feared by some and loved by others. So I wanted to chat with you today about why this might be. If we were to consider the 2012 Cochrane review and meta-analysis of 16 randomized controlled trials of black cohosh, we would find that there was no significant association between supplements with black cohosh and the reduction of menopausal symptoms such as hot flushes. So why are we still talking about black cohosh? Because there is black cohosh and there is black cohosh, and even the authors of the review wanted to see further studies with more details about the black cohosh preparation used in the trials. You see, black cohosh comes from the Buttercup family. There are other members of that family, and although they look similar, they also have their differences, like most families. So the very first thing to do is to identify that we are talking about the right herb. One of the main problems with herbal medicine is that herbs can get substituted, adulterated, or even just grown under poor conditions and not have enough of the right active constituents. As a practitioner, you get to know which companies thoroughly test their herbs before manufacturing their products. Let me tell you, there is a huge difference in the quality of products available. The next thing to consider is the active constituents. Some companies believe one active might be more important than another active and focus on extracting higher amounts of that from the plant, while other companies believe the whole spectrum is important. So just because you have tried one black cohosh product before doesn't mean you will get the same result with a different product. Later on, there was a re-review of the meta-analysis mentioned before. This time they only considered 7 of the 16 trials. And to be included in this re-review, the trials needed to use authorized medicinal products. These were correctly identified herbal extracts. This time the reanalysis found a significant reduction in hot flushes. It is thought to reduce hot flushes by binding to serotonin receptors, expanding the thermoneutral zone. The thermoneutral zone is the band of temperatures you feel comfortable in. Above the thermoneutral zone, you experience a sensation of heat and sweating. Below the thermoneutral zone, you feel cold and shivery. The thermoneutral zone shrinks during your menopausal transition, and this is why many women experience changes in comfort, or what I like to call the jacket on, jacket off syndrome. Both reduced estrogen levels and increased stress hormones narrow this range, whereas stress management tools and substances that enhance serotonin levels, like black cohosh, may maintain or even expand your thermoneutral zone and improve your temperature regulation. In the early 2000s, there were reports of potential liver damage with the use of black cohosh, but this has not been replicated since. The National Institute of Health, or the NIH, found that there was no evidence of a causal relationship. It was thought that some of the liver toxicity may be due to adulterations, incorrect herbal identification, or impurities within the herbal product taken. One particular black cohosh manufacturer has been keeping a very close eye on this. In the last 2 decades since this concern was raised, they have sold over 280 million black cohosh products across 14 countries and have found 0 cases of reported liver toxicity. They know their patented extract of black cohosh has very low levels of adverse effects. They have found only 4% of women taking their product experienced any side effects, and these were just very mild, transient gastrointestinal problems. They also looked into its safety for use in women with breast cancer, as this is a major reason why women look to herbal alternatives to menopause hormone therapy. Current research indicates that black cohosh is not estrogenic. Instead, it works more like a selective estrogen receptor modulator, or a SERM. SERMs help to modulate and mimic estrogen without having a direct estrogenic effect. They found black cohosh to be a safe option for these women. I'm frequently asked if black cohosh is just for hot flushes, and the answer is no. I personally find it very useful for reducing menopausal moods, reducing the irritability, and lightening the mood in general. Black cohosh may also bind to opioid receptors. Opioid receptors are the body's way of regulating pain, reward, and addictive behaviours. In a recent retrospective cohort study, it was suggested that it may be protective against menopausal weight gain. Another study found it activated AMPK. This is the same target of metformin. It's the master regulator of metabolism and may improve blood sugar regulation. There is a long list of possible symptoms black cohosh may improve, and these include hot flushes, night sweats, insomnia, mood changes, fatigue, vaginal dryness, joint pain, racing heartbeat or palpitations, urinary weakness, and menopausal weight gain. My last word on black cohosh is if you choose to try it, please purchase a product that you trust. And if you don't know what to look for, ask your practitioner to suggest a brand. Personally, I look for one which has been correctly identified, manufactured under strict guidelines, and with extract-specific research. And as always, please check with your healthcare practitioner before starting. The information I provide is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for a personalised consultation. Next week is the start of the December interview sessions. Week 1 is Menopause Made Easy, my interview with licensed acupuncturist Laurie Stone. Week 2 is about nourishing your libido with Diane Shepherd from Wild Menopause. Week 3 is Naturally Better Vision with Jake Steiner from End Myopia. And week 4 is The Magic of Menopause with Lorraine Miano. These have all been pre-recorded and I'm having a month off to rest and recuperate after another busy year. I look forward to your company again in 2022. Wishing you the merriest of Christmas. I know you will love the interviews. Catch you in January. Thank you for listening to Menopause Natural Solutions. This podcast contains general information about menopause. It is provided as a guide and it is not intended to replace medical advice. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend.